The feds have now officially arrested a doctor for overprescribing painkillers and allegedly exchanging those prescriptions for sexual activity with some of his female patients. Dr. Naga Thota is the doctor who has been arrested, and apparently from 2005 to 2012, at least 15 of his patients died from painkillers he allegedly handed out like candy. Others who cut ties with the doctor turned to street drugs like heroin in lieu of the powerful prescriptions he wrote. Now, this story might just seem like an isolated case, and in terms of
15 isolated cases.
but in terms of the doctor overprescribing and trying to exchange these prescriptions for sexual behavior, that might sound like an isolated case. But one thing that you should keep in mind is we have a huge epidemic right now of people abusing painkillers and then later turning to street drugs like heroin in order to get their fix. This is a problem that, federal agents are trying to figure out, and it's destroying families throughout the country. Yeah. So this is very relevant, and to see that there are some consequences for a doctor, I think, sends a really strong message. So let me give you some more details. He prescribed medication to a woman the indictment refers to as JS, a recovering drug addict in her mid-20s. JS sought methadone and oxycodone for her withdrawal pain, but on the first meeting, the doctor allegedly steered the conversation towards sex, acting super friendly, flirty, and kind of unprofessional, even asking her about her nipple rings. So
I'm sure for medical reasons, he asked.
So he started, and this is all alleged, right? So we don't know how much of this is true. There needs to be an investigation. There needs to be a trial. You guys get that. But the allegations include this doctor switching from one prescription painkiller to another for this woman, engaging in sexual activity with her, buying her gifts, paying for her phone. And then finally, when she refused to give him some sort of sexual activity that he asked for, he cut off her phone service, okay? And as soon as he did that, they were texting one another. She was using someone else's phone. And through the text, she allegedly said this: "I will show them how you pursued me and how you bribed me with drugs and how you let me get all these drugs under different people's names. I will also share how much you pay to fuck me." So these are text messages that have been obtained by the feds. And it doesn't look good for this doctor. So
doesn't look good for any of them. That's a rough situation to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a reminder of how incredibly addictive these substances are. This guy obviously seems like a relatively bigger scumbag because of the sexual angle and trying to get people to be addicted. But, I mean, on a macro scale, there are thousands of doctors who might not intentionally be intending to get people addicted to these substances and have them eventually turn to either getting them illegally or using street drugs. But we know that that is what will happen when you have these drugs being prescribed on the level and how often as they actually are. And it's amazing that something like marijuana, simply because it hasn't yet demonstrated a miraculous ability to cure cancer and Alzheimer's, has to stay Schedule 1. But these drugs that we know simply by them being out there will lead to deaths. Totally fine, totally cool, because people are making big money off of it.
They're making big money off of it, and you can't grow oxycodone in your backyard, right? You can grow marijuana in your backyard. Yeah. And so pharmaceutical companies can't profit from something that you can grow on your own the same way that they do from these prescription painkillers. That's part of the reason that there's a prohibition on marijuana on a federal level, and it continues. And by the way, this prohibition on marijuana also makes various entities super wealthy. Not just pharmaceutical companies, but correctional officers have lobbied to keep it illegal. Private prisons have lobbied to keep it illegal. Cops have lobbied to keep it illegal. Alcohol companies have lobbied to keep it illegal. And so to say that marijuana has no medicinal use is ridiculous. We all know that. So many people rely on it for its medicinal properties. Yeah. But if we just thought about our policies, our drug policies, in a smart way as opposed to a profitable way, we wouldn't be dealing with this epidemic right now, right? More people would have resorted to marijuana for pain relief, and marijuana is not chemically addictive. It might be psychologically addictive for some, but it's not the same type of addiction that you experience with opioids. Now, another thing to keep in mind was that this doctor was in deep trouble with the Medical Board of California at the time of his arrest after 3 formal sanctions, which accused him of everything from tax evasion to gross medical negligence. Thota was slapped with a 7-year suspension in March of 2016. But what does that suspension mean? It essentially means that he can continue practicing, but he couldn't prescribe these painkillers without the permission of another doctor. I mean, that's insane. So he was still practicing, and luckily he's now been arrested and he's not practicing, but we need to really look into our laws. If someone is found guilty on 3 different occasions of doing something wrong in medicine, then they shouldn't be practicing medicine.
Yeah. We have this record of covering shady doctors on this program. Dr. Feelgood makes Dr. Love look like a really nice guy by comparison.
Yeah.
He just wants to help people, man. He doesn't have a degree, but he wants to help people. Anyway, yeah. No, obviously, the laws need to change. Also, our approach to these substances need to change.
If you enjoyed this clip, we actually have a 2-hour news show Monday through Friday that you can watch commercial-free if you become a member. Go to tytnetwork.com/join to become a member.